We talk the truth, not just a brand. We'll call lovers across the land. For the love of God, Uganda we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. Still we break it down, helping every number in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of God, Uganda. Welcome to the road, and where are the mystery souls? For the love of God, Uganda. On the streets, the stories right. All the new, they shine bright. We don't need some peso master. We break it down, no propaganda. Every pampas got a tale. Village hard to city scale. We talk the truth, not just the brand. For calabas across the land. For the love of God, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. Still break it down, helping every number in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of God. Pre-purchase checks, we lead the way. Track your car, no games to play. Restore the past, drive into tomorrow. We bring the love, not just the horsepower. Is it a move or a TXY? We'll show you what's real, not just the hype. Spanning views and legion moves. We teach you more than just photos. And to do from the basics up. Trucking, meeting, and car, get stuff. If a new Oasis on that, you ain't seen nothing yet. Learn it, I'll be proud. This is more than just machines. It's the love, the life, the dream. For the love of cause Uganda we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. Still break it down. We're in every number in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cause Uganda. Hey, hey. Good morning, my people. How are you doing today? Little Market Tuesday. Today is Market Tuesday, and today I'm going to give you the first part of the National E-Mobility Expo. The first part, I'm going to publish it today, and it's nice. It's nice. So you guys just be ready, and then I think I'll give you the second part tomorrow, and then I'll give you the interview with the gentleman I promised you. I think later on this week. But how are you? How was your night? The day is bright. The day is bright. I hope you guys are doing well. Kanabani akede muyombya mak ngabulijo. Good morning. Lawrence Omuli ngabulijo. Richard Wanga, motion by Benje. Chikawariki. Muchunguzi Gerald. Katamba Isaac Katene. Gilbert Amanya. Nuwaha Norman. Johnza Info. Panga Godfrey Nabari Mukamori. How are you? How was your night? Today is Market Tuesday, guys. Tell us about your products and services. I do pre-purchase inspection. In case you are planning to buy a car and you are not sure about what to do, or you just want to make sure that you're sure and that your sureness is sure, I am your guy. I come with a mechanic, and together we make sure that you get the best car for your money. We do the inspection starting from paperwork, electronics, computerized check. We check the engine, transmission, chassis, and the aesthetics like the interior and the body to make sure that it matches what you are buying. For that, I charge a small fee, 450,000 shillings. That amount covers a full day of inspection in the Kampala Central Business District. The money covers my time, the mechanic's time, and the fuel to move us around. The Kampala CBD for only one day. It doesn't cover lunch and breakfast. but it covers the things I've said. And I encourage you guys to always pay for consultation before you pay the full amount of inspection. The consultation is also part of the inspection fee, 50,000 shillings. So that on the day of inspection, you only pay the balance for 100,000. Why am I encouraging you to pay the consultation? Is so that we have a chart before you go on to decide which car you're buying, to make sure that you're not going to waste time, to make sure you're not going to waste money, and to make sure that the car you want is actually existent in the price range that you have prepared, and to also make sure that you're on the right track. So we have that consult call to get you ready and to get you on the right. Sometimes you just have 10 million nenge chintu yagala kugula cha milioni 2, yeah, kati gokusinga okumpa sente za inspection because you saw a car on Gigi that is 10 million, and then we head out to only realize that the car doesn't exist, and then you start feeling like I've cheated you. Pay the consultation, or better still, just ask your questions here on Question Friday to get clarification, because I realize some of you guys, you're not used to spending on consultation. Some people actually want to come and see me in person. What a wastage of time and fuel. But anyway, that's one of the things I do. I also sell car trackers, in case you should put a tracker in your car, guys. Steve, good morning. Richard Aki, good morning. How are you? And because today is Market Tuesday, I want us to explore the issue that all of you guys, I am sure you heard of, read of, watched videos of. You remember the case where a guy that has a Vitz, and so he had an accident. Now, there are bits of information that I got because I got to listen to all sides, and I did my own analysis based on the experience I have in the car, on the car scene, and for the time that I've been driving. And I'm going to be talking about what went wrong, what could have been done right. I am going to talk about DK because I am on the side of I offer services to people that are buying cars and people that are bought cars. So I know what could have gone wrong. But most of the blame, I want to be honest with you guys, most of the blame is on DK. It's not on the other guy. And I'm going to tell you why. I want you guys, as you listen to my submissions, to listen and not just hear, okay? I want you to listen to what I am going to say, because this not only affects DK, this time it's affecting DK, next time it can affect me, and another time it can end up affecting you, okay? But before we go on, guys, give me at least 16 likes, or 24, or you only have 12 likes. Double tap your screen or find the like button and you like. Now, today being Market Tuesday, we learn about marketing. Now, the question is going to be, Arthur, where do you get the authority to talk about marketing? I am a marketer. I have postgraduate qualifications in marketing. Yeah, so I am very qualified. I am also a professional marketer with membership with this Chartered Institute of Marketing. So that's one thing you need to understand. So I'm going to be talking and advising. I don't know if DK will get to watch this. I did not do it on TikTok because TikTok has a lot of chatter and it can be misunderstood by people that don't actually understand. But here, you guys will comprehend, I am sure. So, good morning, Paul Sema VIP, Nabasa Stewart. So, all of us have, most of us guys, okay, at least most of us have businesses. And those that don't have businesses work in businesses. If you don't work in businesses and you work in civil service, that's where things are actually a little bit easier for you guys. Well, because you can under-deliver and not get consequences. Yeah? But let's just talk about, and then probably later on I'll summarize my submission here and put it in like a 60-second video on TikTok. But let's talk about the DK issue. Now, for the people that don't know the DK issue, there is a young man who is an upcoming musician. He drives a Toyota Vitz. He got in an accident, wherever he got into an accident. According to the story I have, he claims he crashed into a Range Rover, and the Range Rover guy forgave him and even gave him some money. So when he got into a crash, the right hand, the driver's side got damaged. Okay, so he called up DK, and for the guys that don't know DK is a popular, is a celebrity car modification and body spraying expert. He's doing very well in the industry, and yeah, so because he's popular, the guy calls him up and takes his car to DK on a car carrier. Now, this is the first expense the guy incurs. He puts the car on a carrier from Busabala to Mukono. That probably cost him about 200,000 shillings. So he drives the car to DK. The one thing that he goes to DK to get is service he can never get anywhere else, because DK is always saying, I'll give you the best. Okay? Now, he gets to DK, and they even do a video with him saying what he's expecting, DK promising what he should expect and stuff like that. Guys, give me some likes as well. And so he leaves the car with DK. DK promises him that the car will be done in a week. The car doesn't get done in a week. In 10 days, the guy goes to see his car. It's not complete. So guys come and patch up the car, and he drives the car away. Now, according to him, DK promised he will give him very good body work, body spraying work. Okay? One of the lamps were broken. One of the lights were broken. So DK also promised to give him another light, to buy a Japan light, Japan used light, which according to him would give him good quality light. It would be the original one that has a motor. So now he picks his car and takes it, and the light does not work. One of the lamp, the light that was replaced doesn't work, because apparently, according to him, he was given a fake light. Okay, he was given a fake light. On top of that, he's not happy with the spraying that was done. So he makes a bunch of videos before DK responds, and a lot of people respond to him, and they say, don't fight this guy, he has made his name, he does good work, everybody knows, da 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 da. Now, the guy says he paid 1.3 million Uganda shillings, which according to him is very high. Okay? According to him, 1.3 million is very high. Now, when I first watched his first video for a Toyota Vitz, I also thought 1.3 million shilling was very high. Okay? For a spray job and the kind of work that was done. I also thought it was really high, knowing the kind of work that we get from our workshops in Uganda. Okay? And looking at the car that was sprayed, I thought 1.3 was high. Okay? And now, guys, I want you to understand I've been through situations like this before. Now, before I go to that guy, let me go to a situation that I went through myself. You see, when I'm doing the weekly roundup, you see the door that is behind me. That is a sliding door of a Nua. It's the car belongs to one of you guys here. Now, this gentleman was in parking in their building at work, and he scratched his door badly. The door could not be repaired, so we bought a new sliding door. But the driver's door, although had some damage, it did not warrant buying another door. So I took it to the best. I took the car to be sprayed by the best guy I know in Kampala. This is one thing I tell you. The best guy I know in Kampala. He sprayed it, and I was also disappointed. So the owner of the car was also disappointed. Okay? This is the reason why normally when you guys call me and say, Arthur, I need you to do this for me, I give you a number of someone that I know will do it. This time, this gentleman insisted, Arthur, I want you to do it. And I took the car. I had my little brother, my cousin, supervise and stay there, because in the Moroka garage. So day one, work is done, and they bring the car back to me because I was busy. It's substandard. We decided to take it back on day 2. Okay? And all the days I am not happy. I expected better, because we were charged premium, which take but we did not get better. Now, I want you to understand that the person that gave me the car is not pleased with my work. I don't spray cars, but he's not pleased with my work. So I've been there. I'll give you another scenario. We buy a car, and the person that buys the car drives it for a couple of weeks. Now, one morning, as he's heading out to the village, he feels that his car is not engaging gears properly. He calls the mechanic. The mechanic tells him, before you go to the village, bring the car and I look at it. Okay? Now, the gentleman, as he's driving, he realizes now the car's engaged gears again. He says, I'll go and see the mechanic when I come back from the village. Now, he goes to the village, and the car breaks down in the village, and the gearbox totally dies. Okay? Now, in the village, they look at the car, they realize it had all the hydraulic from the gearbox had poured out because there was a leakage, and that's why when he had parked at an angle, the gears were not engaging, and when he goes on a straight path, the gears engage. However, when he drives all the way to the village, I think the hydraulic gets out, all of it. Now, he calls the mechanic that had told him, bring the car, I look at it, and he did not go there, and he wants immediate service on the phone. Okay? Now, some of the times I get phone calls from you guys when you're telling me, mechanic, When I listen to the situation that exists, I blame the mechanic very little. So he calls the mechanic, who he did not take the car to before he went to the village, and he wants service. The mechanic tells him, send me pictures because he wants the mechanic to tell him what the other mechanic in the village should do. The mechanic says, send me pictures of the car and of the parts, and I tell you what to do. So he sends the mechanic the images, and the mechanic does not look at the images until 3 hours later. And by the time he looks at the images, the mechanics in the village apparently have spoiled. Because when they saw that the guy wasn't looking at the images, for them, they went on to do what they thought was right. You get? So later on, he calls me, and I give him another mechanic. So far, he's happy with the other mechanic because the other mechanic gives him a lot of time. Now, from the work that was done in the village, a lot of work has to be done, which means he spends more money. Now, he had bought the car on credit, so he calls the person that sold him the car, and in a way wants to negotiate. I had to do a lot of work on this car. Now, this was a Ugandan used car, okay? So, I'm in the middle of all this, okay? So sometimes when I get phone calls, I just listen, yes. And then at the end of it all, I give a solution which might sometimes not be in the favor of the other people. You get? So finally, the car is paid off, and he's working on whatever he's working on, mpola. He's happy that he has a car, but he's not happy that he has spent money. So far, he says he has spent about 1.5 million shillings on the car. For me, the way I know cars, that's very little money. For the kind of issue that had developed with the car. Something that could have been avoided if only he did not go to the village before having someone look at that car. But then you see, the blame goes back to the mechanic who did not respond to WhatsApp messages very fast. You get? So anyway, guys, now you see, I'm just giving you a scenario that I've been part of. There is also another scenario. Also someone that I inspected the car for, took the car to the garage, they fixed it. The person did not pick the car until like a month and a half later. By the time they want to pick the car, where it is parked, a lorry has blocked the way. But they want to pick the car there and then. But the lorry that blocked the way the gearbox had been opened. So they cannot push the lorry to get out the vits. So the person calls me and says, Arthur kakati, makanika mukubida aganyo kumpe moroka yange. Agamba roleji brokinze. And then I asked this person, when did you take the car to the garage? And they say, I took it a long time ago. I said, why didn't you pick it when they told you to pick it? I was busy. I said, now, have you gone and seen that actually they just don't want to give you the car? She says, yes, I went and there is a lorry blocking the way. And then I asked, okay, so what do you want the mechanic to do? Why don't you just wait for the lorry? Why don't you want just blame? Why don't you wait for the lorry to be fixed and then they move out? So later on, I think like two days later, the lorry got away and the car was taken away. And the reports I hear is that now they are happy. So I'm just giving you some stories for you to know that these things happen almost everywhere. The thing with DK, you have to know that he's popular. And when you're popular, people want to ride on your popularity to blackmail you. So let me just break down the situation of DK. DK made a bunch of mistakes there. One, DK is known as a body modification and spraying person. He does body spraying and body modification. Okay? Now, when this guy brought the car to him, he brought the car to a spray expert, which DK billed for. Do you know the first mistake DK made? He billed for spraying, but he also billed for repair of the car. When you look at DK's videos, which I saw, you realize that he also worked on control arms, he worked on bushes, right? He even repaired the car, something that he is not known for. So when he built the 1.3 million shillings, he billed for more than what he does. Now, he paid 1.3 for spraying. However, the 1.3 million shillings involved panel beating, spraying. It even also involved buying a light, that right-hand light, which is 280. Now, 1.3 minus 280, yeah, that makes it 1,020,000 shillings, I'm thinking. You get it? Now, include the control arms, the bushes that had to be worked on, the labor for fixing that part. How much is that? That takes another like 200, which means DK remained with 800,000 shillings to work on the board panel beating and spraying, the body work generally. But on top of the body work, they needed to work on the bumper, which if you take the bumper alone, guys, we all know, if you take the bumper alone in that color, which is I think pink, they will charge you about 150,000 shillings to just work on the bumper alone. So let's just take off the 150,000. Let's just say he wanted to work on the bumper, which was broken. 150,000. Chitegeza DK yali asigaze emitwalo 5 to work on the rest of the body, which includes the fender, a tama. I don't know if you guys get when I'm breaking it down. When you start breaking down the amount of work that DK had to do on the car, 1.3 million shillings is actually very little money. However, DK has promised the general public that, you know what, guys, I do good work. The thing, because the saga is too big for him, he has even forgotten to tell the general public that, you know what, guys, I was given 1.3, but from the 1.3, I had to buy a lamp, I had to repair a car which had accident. Was saying, you know, you get, with alignment, but you guys realize that now the money is too little. But when the guy brought the car to DK billed him for body spraying. Era bwe yali ayogera ye ya promising ati agenda mu omulimu ng'emmotoka ewedde okufuuyibwa ng'eteredde, which he delivered. Now, me have been wondering how these guys even spray our cars. They charge very little. And then I sprayed the project car, and I can tell you 500,000 is not enough to spray a car the right way. Is not enough. But we all know DK kept 500,000 to spray that car. Now, this guy, from what I saw, he expected magic from DK. I think he expected to give DK a pink car, and he expected DK to give him back a pink bluish car, something that looks magical, like from a fairy tale movie, fairy tale, but it's a fairy tale. Oh, it's again, right? So do you guys realize that what happened is People even ended up starting to abuse the guy, Omwavu, la 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 la. But I cannot blame the guy. He went to an expert. The expert promised to deliver, and the expert did not deliver. Ochitegeira, the expert did not deliver. So we have faith. We should be blaming the expert because the expert has promised to deliver and he has failed to deliver. Ochitegeira, he did not break it down. And I think mechanics should have the habit of actually giving their customers invoices that breaks down the kind of work that is going to be done. Because when someone has an invoice, they can understand the kind of charges they are getting. Normally, when I tell people I charge 450,000 for inspection, they say, but that's a lot of money. And then I say, but we're going we will be moving in my car all around. It will be an entire day. You're paying for my time, the mechanic's time. You're even paying for my credibility. Now, when they understand that, then it's actually very little money. There's a lady I got here that said, because in Chimanyi, you get it? So there are people that pay me that money, not because of anything, but because they know I cannot blunder. Anyway, good morning, Stuart Agambie. Never overpromise, just underperform. In business, we just promise and perform beyond expectations. The goal is always under promise. The goal is to always under promise and over deliver. That's allowed. But if you over promise and under deliver, then you have trouble. DK has been over promising. Okay, he has been promising magic. Right? He has been promising magic. And for you guys, if you have seen the comments that come from some of the guys he has worked for, you realize that he has done some under delivering in the past, and that the people that he has under delivered to have just been silent. Right? So sometimes people so he has under delivered. We all under deliver once in a while. Right? We all under deliver once in a while. And it's always a good thing to, I think, have accountability. Let me just read some of your comments. Direction, good morning. Rama Charity Organization, good morning. Aishuka Blair, good morning. Karim, start your juki na kubo miyaye chukua na teka tinangu amukati atendi muzibu nyo. Arthur, I don't want to blame the mechanic because this man drove the car knowing it had an issue. Well, I want to blame both sides. Okay, I want to blame both sides. I think the Wits guy, overreacted. He overreacted. But I also think DK did not handle it very well. Why do I think the Wits guy overreacted? One, when he complained about the light, DK gave him the number of the guy that delivers, that sells the lights. The guy refused because he wanted DK to do it. That's overreacting. DK is in Mukono. The guy that delivers the lamp is in Chiseka Market. You are in Busabara. Common sense. The guy overreacted. Okay? Guy ari Busabara. Owetala ari wa Chiseka. It's only logical that DK connects you to the guy who is nearer you than DK. You go, if you don't like the light, they give you another light. The guy overreacted, which is not good. And some of you guys sometimes overreact. Chibawo. I've told you time and again, Nzabachala banvuma nnyo. Omukyala ayinza okujja okutandika emmoroka ye nga talinye break, emmoroka neegaana okukuba n'akuba n'akuvuma mwanguzizza emmoroka embi. Nunga nene mokasinze nagiguzza nze nakebedde. Okitegeera. Sometimes you guys overreact. I have overheard that DK promises 2 weeks and he completes work in 4 weeks. To me, it does not make sense. Professionally, work is supposed to be completed in a specific agreed time. Exactly. And let me just probably tell you what I understand about spraying. Every car that is sprayed, they need a booth. The spray booth, most of the body repair shops, again, most of the body repair shops don't have more than 2 booths where they spray from. So katidike wabaina at a time nga ine moroka 5 nga ina only 2 spray booths, and they are supposed to do the undercoat then they do the first coat, second coat, third coat, and then they leave the car to dry. It means it's definitely not going to be able to deliver in the promised time because of the limitation in resources. And DK has one of the biggest garages. And then you guys also have to understand that there are mishaps. Sometimes so the over-promising and not delivering is another. You think if you all take care, Taka's there, you wanted yours in 2 weeks, but you think he has 10 hands. It's all about patience. Victor Bola said, we are not saying we can't be patient, but tell me you will deliver in 4 weeks. Don't tell me you'll deliver in 2 weeks. You get it? The thing is, don't overpromise. I know Uganda service providers, the so-called expert was trying to be dishonest, like they always do, thinking Bana Ankorach. It's also there. It's possible that DK just bought a bad light, na alitekako, na gamba Bana Ankorach. But in his videos, Chris Fitness, in his videos, DK agane parts yagura na ateka once. 1 point was too little. Izo sente ntono nnyo. There are some nze nabagamba nyina business zesisobola lwansonga. Webuuza abaziri mbwe bamalako nga tokiraba. Okitegeera webuuza engeri gye bamalako nga tolaba ngeri gye bamalako. Kati gwe 1.3 omusajja akusubidde omukanikireko suspension, omugulireko ettaala, ofuwe n'emmoloka ate ogifuuwa ebizungu. Like guys, me, bwe nalingula langi ya starlet, langi yokanda koti nga yaggwa buli kimu. Nagula langi, I spent 588,000 langi yokka eyakola final coating mitwala nganze mbyegulidde kuba nali njagala kirungi kati gosubira ogenda kuwa omuntu emitwalo 7 akufuira langi enyumeddeyo ku original okitegeera. So both of them can be blamed. Nsinga mu blaming ako overreacting. Ekirala, I blame him for expecting too much. You can't. Now I've learned to have very little expectation, especially from guys that fix our cars. Most of them are gambling, and some of them just have a better experience at gambling, that they know how the gambles work. He knows that if I gamble on the left 3 times, on the right 1 time, it will work most of the times. And the margin of error is calculated because you get the margin of error is very, very little. Most of the people that have success now have gambled more times, and the gambles have worked. I'll give you an example. I know people that have been doing car trading for some time. Nenga na yakora blanda na asubule moroke iye negana nga asubudde bubinga mbi. Kati imagine ibo abasubula okusubula embi lwaki takuguza embi. Era sometimes I see people like, so guy yabadde atuze moroka za fezo na nzije njagala okugula. One of you guys actually bought a bad car from someone. He hired me to inspect. He bought a second bad car from that person. Try to funye moroka nga nungi nnyo. Ndozoli na amukwina mga eyo vayo jangu. Tuba tuli mu banka nga agenda okusasula moroka empya. Nangambo manyi Arthur. Nagenda nagule moroka envundu. Ne kakati moroka y'envundu gyavuga. Somehow tamanyi nti moroka avuga envundu. But somehow ebintu ebyo ntuuka ne mbimanya. We need to understand that people are only human. People are only human, and you can only have checks and balances at all points. For example, I've told you time and again, someone that have a third eye, the people you're working with, mechanic, broker, to make a very informed decision. But still someone comes alone. They don't the instructions. I've told you this time and again. But you need the third eye. If you have the people that have been with me ngendo kebere moroka mbera n'abantu ekitendo nnyo basatu ate abo bembera nabo, because I know I am nkebere moroka, but I also know that I am human. Nange nsobola okukola blanda. Kati mbera n'abantu basatu ngendo gule moroka eyange naye nyina n'abali ku simu babiri. Mubabiri obo mbamu ne mama abani. Mpira mga ngenda gule moroka eno neno, what do you think? Type manyi nnyo, but I get her. Okitegeera. Olumu nkubira sekatawa. Olumu nkubira omuntu omulala. Why? Because I just want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. Tibana abali ku ground yobalaba. Nabo bayinza okubeera excited nganze. Kati abatali ku ground n'omukubira mga kino na kino. When I was buying this hybrid, I called like 4 hybrid mechanics. Bonna nemba consultation. Okitegeera. 4 hybrid mechanics. Bonna ngamba ebuuzaako. Ne bangamba kati boteekako machine noonya kino. Bukola bwoti ne bandagana n'engeri gye nkebere moroka eno manually. That's how I know how to check hybrids now. Okitegeera byonna ne babindaga. But omuntu agenda ogula moroka nga agenze yekka. Kati n'agambolinga ne kikwatayo ogusooka ne kikwatayo ogwokubiri. Lwe kigaana bubinyo. And I told you guys, sometimes I find people nga they are bragging. N'agamba omanyi ata sitomerangako. Mvuze moroka emyaka 7 sitomerangako. Olunaku lwatomera afiira mu accident. Oba lwatomere moroka agimalawo. And this I've seen multiple times. Era gwe oba totomerangako nga tokulubulangako, you need to be more careful than people that have been scratching, people that have been knocking. You need to be more careful with your car. Because gwe atera ogenda okutomera tusobola okubeera feto. Osobola okwesanga nga oyonoonye. Okitegeera. So anyway, ekintu kya DK, we can blame all guys. We blame the customer, but we also blame DK. I blame DK for overpromising. And I don't know if he has learned from this situation. Simanyi oba yayize. I am really hoping that he learned. I am also hoping that he learned that not every job should be done. Oba juza. There are times that people call me. They are asking if I'm available for inspection. Nkugamba siriwo. Nga ndi mwana mwavu. Na sina sente. Nini ngamba siriwo. Because I don't want to take on too much. Because I know, like, I have people that call me. A lot of you guys want to buy your cars on Sunday. But Sunday, you have your own car or your cars. I'm going to look at those only. But, and I know most of the times, there are people that call me after the inspection of Mitwala. Saturday Moroke emu. Ntukewa unge Moroka ambi. Ogambe kakati. Tugende keri. Me, I know. So those guys that normally call to bargain or okwa ine morokaze abo sibakolira eje mirimu najigoba. The people that call me and they say I want to buy a car on Sunday abo nabagoba because I know how that works out. Oshitegera. So I also find that DK can be blamed for over promising and under delivering. He can also be blamed for not clarifying DK areka yatiam instead of explaining to us because when you understand the amount of work that DK did, the money that he was given is too little. Osegera. Nze nenkola workshop njengera bwanze ngendo kusinga okusiri Kampala. Emmoroka etandikirwako okufuwa eba yakakadde. Nsobola okuteerako langi nga nnungi. Langi eri ku Starlet project car yange ya bay. Abantu abasinga Kampala tebagifuwako ku mmoroka. I think Isaac yagamba bafuwako first dry. Wemitwale esatu lita yesatu obebiri kitundu. You can imagine emmoroka yo bagifuwako langi nga lita ya mitwale 2 emmoroka yo gojisubira nti ayinza okunyuma. Kyovula abagenda ne bagamba omugoloza ina kuba mulungi nnyo emmoroka okunyuma. Lwaki? Because eyo langi teina nabyebika. Okitegeera. Bagenda bakwata undercoat ne baleta lita emu kitundu lita 2 za undercoat. Ne bafuwe emmoroka yo undercoat n'atanoga. Kyovula bemoroka erimu agira be this project car yange nga ku undercoat mubuza mwambi yamaze okufuuyibwa kuba bateekako liters 5 myai yajja nayiwa ko langi. Okisegeera. So I find that we can blame everyone. But I also want to educate you guys mwenga ba customer mu abagule moroka. One thing you need to understand is that most of our mechanics bayigide ku ground. They don't have a methodology. Tebaina methodology jiba following anti tukola kino na kino na kino na kino. They have not even developed a methodology. The guys that have a methodology for working on your cars, you can't go there. Abama companies, Spear Motors, Victoria Motors, wawo notwala emoroka bagenda kugamba emoroka girete giparking wano tuwemwe sawa bit ku report but na kwa report oba bagamba tule eri mu reception tumalokebera bwe bakebera gachi ne kintu kigenda kikolera ke nnaku 3. You guys don't want to go there. You can't even go there. Osegira wamala bakubidding emitwalo 7 naye ng'okimanye ewandega wali omwana asobola okukolera emitwalo 15 naye omwana bw'anaakola ekye 15 ate you expect him to give you the quality that Victoria Motors would give you at 700k. Over expectation is also a bad thing. Okitegeera. This week alone, I think I've received calls of people that have 12 million and they want cars that I know would cost 18 million. Ngamba goba. Someone actually went ahead and gwe Athens send satisfaction is gwe jango okebere mugamba anvaako. Oyagala genda gamba abantu nti Atha wamuwa sente zo nakuba. Okitegeera. So we can blame both sides. Oli omuvubuka wa Vits, he over expected. Kati ate bwe namulaba wanga agamba nti eno lanje eno labi yafuye tebyanyume na kunywa ku million 4.3. He doesn't tell people kyali ku million 4.3. Then there is a car that I've seen. Najira bibagifuye ya black. Emoroka mpya. I am telling you the study looks better. Emoroka babagifuwa kibalinga gye basiiga ne brush. By all goes back okwate emoroka nga nene nga wish nojiwo omwana agifuwe n'omuwe emitwalo 6. Project Kayange okugifuwa the process of spraying took about 1,300,000. Spraying and panel beating 1.3 million shillings. Spraying and panel beating. Ngebira tetubi bazinza no bazisukama. I have to look at the books. I have an Excel sheet where I put all those things. Okitegera spraying alone okufuwa obufuyi kuyinza oba kwamala w'emitwalo nga 9. Okufuwa obufuyi leba woyo omuntu ne rangi ng'ate nkubalira paint only gye nagula yasembayo nze nagigula paint. There is paint, there is hardener, there is clear. Nako kagoli ke twafu weno wansi. It took 588,000 nze nabigula. Atenga the guy that was spraying yagamba yolaji jireke ya bay tugula eri eyesatu because yajivu nayo na yeso okufana n'obulungi. But now looking at the cars ze bafuwa ezemitwalo 3 zesinza kuddamu kufuwa eyo langi ya kisibu eyemitwalo 3 sisobola na kuddamu. That is why most of the time bw'okutwala emoroka mu garage bajja kugamba lwaki tetugifuuye yonna kuba nabo bakimanyi tebasobola genda kutabula langi efaanana ya moroka yo gye wajja nayo mu bondi. Kati ayagala emoroka agifuuwe ennamba ebe ng'efaanagana langi embi. Okitegeera. It's not good to overpromise to your clients. Some people have programs and every day counts on their plans. Athens Subaru, I go to Axofoli Auto House along Chira Road. As you go to Kasanga, it's expensive, but they are the most trusted. I trust them more than anything else in even. Me, I blame the car owner for not going back to DK because we all get misunderstandings. Isaac, I want you to note one thing, and I know it might be true. It might not be true. Gaya Gamba. Bamuzalawa niba muvuluga, and I know it's totally possible. Me, I've seen it with people. Ogenda omuntu nibogera nawe nga atayina magezi kanogamba bana abana bakozesa babogedde nange bwebati orodike no chita. Guys, for the guys that follow me on TikTok, I've been complaining about the Entebbe Expressway situation. We have these cards for us that drive the Entebbe Express every day. We pay 90,000 a month. That's saving. But for the past 2 weeks, these cards are not working. I can tell you ku Entebbe Express tekuwera ko bantu bawera mutwalo balina cards ntizo batulinga lukaga. But people every day lining up at their customer care desk, cards zaabwe ziterezebwa tezinaterezebwa. Na yengo omuntu alina zitereza nyuka sawa 10. You get what I'm saying? Na ye bwanyuka mwete musobola mutuukako. You end at the reception, and the reception woman, the only thing they can do, she can do is only telling you gendo labo bekola lutukayo nga tekola. Otegera etukayo nga tekola nga bagambo jja kudde encha. It has happened for a lot of times. Otegera kati otuka no bivaako. Because there are people that don't have a voice, or yomvuka abadde voice, but there are people that probably have been treated in the same way that he was treated at that garage. Nenga tebasobola bote balina following ono mvubuka jaina. Kati yavude because he has a following, but we have been all treated like that. Ochitegera in so many places. You remember the time that I talked about a traffic officer that scratched my number plate and he told me my number plate was fake. When I got the number plate from you are a personal, and then I just saw online, nengenda nenjino nayo nenjisa ku moroka. Nenvayo nenchogerako. Bwe nachogerako gayi ne bamubuzamu kondoza ne batulazo ne bamutuzako ku office. Ate ne wajjawo omulala. Era naye n'akikola. Kati abantu abo bate balina voice abalala. Naye babibakola ne bababba. But when I talked about it, gayi bali awo Kawanda. Obubbi ne bukendeera. Ikawanda kati bale kati bakyabba mu ngeri eyo scratching a number plate. You get it? But it had been happening. Musirikale wa police ye mubbi. But because people don't have a voice, these things are not talked about. Nituloza nti biri nomo. Tutusene kumbera etugira nti kanti. Yesterday I did a video about the Entebbe Express. I was with Mama Abba and she told me, maybe bireke tugule buguzi card indala. Like, guys, I paid money for this card. The trip zange kwezidi. Zigenda ku expiring nga sizikozesa. But Mama Abba, ya ulira muliye, we should live with the injustices because why wono yogerako. Kati oli omuvubuka yayogera. Mu video zagamba, bamu yeyane, bamuvurugane, bamuyita omunaku ne bakola ki. It's normal to get disappointed. Kati ogenda ku TikTok, nga it's the only chance he has. Yes, music weta nakola, but I see people trying to tell him, oyagala ku riding ku fame yoli. He doesn't want to ride on anyone's fame. For music for you to get a hit, it doesn't require for you to abuse anyone, to talk about anyone. A hit is something that this song, when it came out, they played it on so many radio stations. I wasn't willing to pay the program's directors money. Okay, I didn't even have the money. It played for like 2 weeks non-stop. It almost felt like I had a hit. And then it went out. And then I think this song, this is like the last song I did. And then I realized, you know what? I can't manage music. Like, you depend on so many people for you to get success. The producer, the songwriter, the video director. Now you need a promoter. Then you need to talk nicely to all these radio guys and also give them money. I said, no, I'm not doing music because of that. Kati, one thing we need to understand is that both of them, yes, they are to blame, but I am blaming the DK a lot because I'm in the same industry. When you overpromise and underdeliver, but also the conflict resolution thing is also something that needs to be handled a little bit better with DK, because while the kind of work that DK does is very delicate, it's too delicate in a way that you spray someone's car, the car is really bad. You guys remember there's a time when I said Christmas in my car campaign, there is a lady that brought me her Primo, and the Primo was an accident Primo. It had leakages everywhere in the roof. Even here, the doors were not, even the gearbox was bad. The car was a write-off. So she gave me the car, so when she gave me the car, I gave it to my mechanics. Nebangamba atha amazima gali nti okusigaza erinnya lyo emmoroka eno tejja kukolwa. Tusobola ogiyiiya ne tusobola ogiyiiya nga gwe toliimu nga toliimu mu kifaananyi. Then they explained everything to me. The gearbox has leakages. The car kweganga okola eri emmoroka aguze endala asinga emmoroka okugikola ino muli miliyoni nga 4. So I called the lady and I tell her the truth. And the lady said, Arthur gotomanyi byokola. And then there is a broker, I think the broker that sold the car. Broker amara okuguza emmoroka envundu. Ate n'oddamu n'okolagana naye yabakanikira emmoroka envundu gye yaguza. So the broker comes for the car, n'agitwala. And then I call the lady again and I tell her, emmoroka eyo bagenda gikanika naye togenda funa mirembe. Emmoroka eyo gitwale oba ofuna gw'ogifera agigulenga bweri gugateko sense ogatta mu mmoroka ezigenda kusala. Okitegeera? But and then I think there is someone oba yeyampa mmoroka kizaali emmoroka nga 2 ng'oggyeko eno Honda gye twakola n'etambula. Okitegeera? And there are things that you skip. And then there are issues that I've had personally as conflicts. There is a time we bought a Toyota Ipsum, one of the first people I inspected for. We bought the Toyota Ipsum at 5 million. And I told this gentleman, twajigula steering e kaluba nga teina bulungi manyi ne tubalanga, we need to buy a fuel pump, we need to work on the steering, we need to buy a new steering system, nga tulina okugula emipiira, rim, alignment. There was a lot of work that needed to be done. And then the buyer knew. So we buy the car and they go to, we paid for the car like at 5 p.m. So they go to the garage and they could not fix the car that night. So, but the car was moving. So the guy drives away. When he drives away, he goes home. I think then he meets his friend and his friend tells him, tugende wa mechanic omulala. Ochitegera. They go to the full steering pump system, I think, was about 150. So he goes to this other mechanic and they tell him to jajikoramu. Tuwe emitwalo 8. Wa emitwalo 8 nga bagikora ngegana. Nga abongenda ngegana. Ochitegera. So eventually they have to buy another system. But only this time they don't sell it to him at the actual price. They sell it to him at about 250,000. Kati baragirie emitwalo nga 12 gye yabadde abawadde. Ogateko jino 25 oyede moruka agitaddemu sente nyingi nga basumula no wansi nga bakolayo. So I did not hear from him for some time, and ozo moruko ba agivugirayo ba agiparking nga akubira like 2 weeks later ata moruko entamye amubuza ate kutamye eki sente zetaddemu nyingi ede moruka nkadde nnyo, and I tell him utaddemu sente kinaki nga ngamba when we went to the garage, your mechanic, I did service for the gearbox, I did service for the engine. There I spent about 200,000. Now I've bought this, and then I call the mechanic. The mechanic says, na ife twakora service ya gearbox na ya engine. So I call him, I say, bine bidala byogamba byotaddemu wabikolera wa. Now my friend took me to a mechanic. I didn't know, why did you go there? Nga ngamba kati nakola kino nemuka kati bakuba. You are not supposed to do that. Awusaddamu muwuliza. Naddamu muwuliza ng'emmotoka yagitunda, and then he had come with his friend for me to inspect for him another car. Okitegeera, but you see, the follow-up calls back and forth for me to understand the situation. Kati, it's very easy for me to go and say, makanika yatubba. Naye nga ono agamba yateekamu sente nnyingi mbiri naye teyabikolera wa makanika gwe namugamba. Yavaayo n'agenda ewa makanika omu. There is another person. Let me remember. There is another person. Actually, it's the person that bought my Mac to Musota. When they buy my Mac to Musota, it gets a leakage. And I tell them, bring it to me. They bring the car to be worked on the leakage. Ninjiwa makanika, najikola leakage. Ninjibadiza. When I give them back the car, they take it. I don't know what they did. And I think their mechanic tells them, emoroka eno bagisumudde yingini naye bagisibe bubi kati njagala kuddamu ngisibe. Okitegera? They did not tell me. They called me like 2 days later before the car is done. Kati anti makanika wo yakoze yingini najikola bubi. I tell him, but yagikoza atya? Ingini tebasobola gikola where there is no money. I gave the guy money to work on leakages. That is what we worked on. Ti makanika wange yangambye ingini bagisumurudde ne bagisibe bubi kanange nyina okuddamu ngisibe. Makanika we yatukozeeko emikolo ate emikolo kigi yakozeeko bakusabye sente z'okukola yingini nti nedda nange saazisasudde nze nasasudde nga nkubira makanika. What did you do? Nga wangambye leakage era twakoze leakage emmotoka yazze teyina leakage si kyo nti ye ngamba ate yingini gye bagamba gye baakoze nanzira mwankubira gayi makanika wange teyakoze yingini makanika we yali mu kubba naye by that time I say ngoli yasumudde dda yingini. Okitegeera kati nga bayimujjizaawo nga mugamba ne kati ekyo kyawedde muleka akole yingini bwaba kiyasazeewo okukola. Of course now the car is okay, but you realize that sometimes it's what happens in between that you don't know that can bring problems. Okitegeera ekibeerawo makati kati ate omuntu angamba nti makanika we yamugambye yingini baagikoze tali mu ggwanga yali bweru makanika ali wano ne mukyala we. Okitegeera ne mugamba we bagambe nti yingini baagikoze lwaki tebaŋŋambye lwaki bapapye okusumulula ne basumulula. Okay, until now sinnaggwayo sente kyemba mulasaba ebintu byakutunda mmoroka. Service providers in bamanyi bavuruga after doing low quality work. I can't trust them. Exactly. I think the trouble becomes even worse when the service provider has a name. Service provider wabana edinya bambi atasobola kuvuruga bubi nnyo. After the link for your songs, I'm going to put it today. Kadloka newe task yeyo. Nze makanika customer mounting za mulimo okutereza. Onempanika. Not everything can be fixed by a particular. Exactly. Muche mbamanya nti wali oba makanika abategeera ebintu ebunge birate babitegeera ate tebakkiriza because baba baagala kulya sente. Mechanics are all about money. Ate ne bwaba tasobola kintu alisa akugamba vaawo abitwale ewo omuntu omulala. Me, I blame the car owner for not going back to the okay, kunakasomi. So guys, that happens. That happens a lot. But the one thing I want probably, I want you guys to understand that things can happen. The bad things can happen, the good things can happen. But you know how I've often told you, nze sesiga bantu bafuuyira moroka e Kampala because nabo bibakwatira bukwatira ne kikwata yencha ne kigana. My number is in the description of the channel, Darren. Olumu kikwata yula ne kikola ki ne kigana ekyo njagala mbere nga mukitegeera. But also guys, I want you to understand one thing. Bwogenda mu garage, bwogenda mu garage ewatali tools zipima. If you go to a garage where they don't have a, let's say, diagnosis machine, yeah, they don't have, I don't know which other tools they use, vernier calipers and all those. If they don't have tools to measure accuracy. If they do something and it's substandard, you need to expect it because me, if I showed you my inbox, I have complaints on every mechanic. Buli makanika gomanyomo owamanyi e Kampala nze muinako complaint. Buli makanika gwe gomanyi owamanyi nebe naleta ku convention bakafuru nabomba inako complaint. People inbox me banga gundi yankolako kino nyambako omwogereko kakati jogereko wachi. After you reminded me, my mom has injected over 8 million in Hanua Mgongo Gwamba. I'm all waiting to see if it will come working with SC. We even quarreled why she spent all that. Ne mama million munana zisente ngaja abadavuga ye ulwakola ki kubanga if you bought a car nga sijigwa abadagivuga you would understand, but moroka boba gwa abadagivuga ngiro badoji kanika 8 million is a bit too much. Emoroka joba dovuga bulijjo yali badde kulya ekinene nye million yezo atezo million billion okuziyanga shock on suspension invundu okitegeera nga suspension yo nabagikyusa bitanda bikibiwo wati obukono shoko bazikyusa bushes bazikyusa awe sobola okulya million 2 emoroka jovuga sebo kulya sente ezo ate nuwa Mugongo Gwamba ate ze moroka mwali bade muziteka muna bya abatoro mwali bade mukyateka mu bintu biri modern oteka mu bush enzungu munuwa Mugongo Gwamba oboyo nona osateka mu bush zo mutoro for the guys that don't know olaba matiyo je bakola mu Lugabire kati matiyo yebera ngumu the bush ze bateka mu moroka eze nkadde kati kozo watu chaina chotaasa iyi moroka bato chanonya comfort nonya gikumira ku kubo yes wononya gikumira ku kubo. So anyway guys, one takeaway from BK's situation is that as a business person, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Just underpromise and overdeliver. And also it's a good thing for you to give people clear, tell them what to expect. We learned a lesson for one convention. We are no longer going to give you guys food. We are not. Why? There are people that came and paid at the venue. Ngatoba gobe. Atenga asasude chizike chi wangambe nemmere kweri. Nitukanga abantu banji. And then we had to ration. I'm just happy that you guys understood our convention. So next year's convention, we're not giving you food. We'll just get people to sell it. You pay us, we'll give you the other things, because the rest of the things that don't involve food, I think you guys are very happy. Some of you guys, the only reason you're not even complaining about the amount of food you got was because the rest of the things worked out very well. That's when you concentrate on what you can do very well,
people will be happy. So I am sure you guys are happy because the parts of the convention that you came for gave you exactly what you expected, even more. So you realize that and you let it go. So anyway, I think we went Katife, we learned a lesson. Next year we want to do that. I need my budget is sending me on cash first person setting najifuna. Soboka might not be in the best condition. 20 million, it might not be in the best. One thing you guys need to understand, most people that have bought personal settings don't have money to buy another car, and they don't even want to buy another car. Ntunda Ranex 18 million UAS. About Ranex ne Alex Mwe Yagala. Ye tata. What is special about it? Ojituda 18. Nze no project car yangi, it's a special car. It's a vintage. 15. Eye inachi. But the food was good at the convention. What went wrong? Alexander, it was little. We intended to give you more. But I thank you for the compliment. Guys, it's nice. It's nice. Someone is saying the food was nice. We are not happy. We were not happy. We wanted to give you more. But thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment. What went wrong is we wanted to give better, but we could not. But we will get service providers at the convention next time. Of course, the ticket price will go a little down. We'll get the service providers, send the cigadeos of Oguramu. So somehow it's a win-win for both of us. New engine. In a anagonza kamwe ate munange bagenda jigula gonza ganze nkubulya bayinza batajigula 18 ne bagenda jigula nga 15 16 bajja jigula. I am telling you, people are looking for those cars. Bajja jigula gwebera mugumu to papa omuntu agenda kudda abajja jigula nga 16 awo bajja jigula. The reason why they may not be able to buy it at 18 is because there are some some things that are on at 1920. I ate chapati, tea, muchomo, it was enough Arthur. Lwacho ja ngenjale kuluma. Sikulia kufira Arthur. Amina. Ate gwe tewawuta supu w'ekigero olwo nange kyansuba. But twalina n'ekirenge in the evening. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. And I would like to apologize to anyone that I overpromised and underdelivered at any one moment. We learn as time goes on. We learn to not overpromise. And I've been making changes. Nenga gule moroka ngenda bakolirayo nabagambe mu round up katugenda taniko kola where we update the prices according to the week. Inti week eno emoroka eno ya sente zino era starting Saturday tugenda batuba waka section ako. And we are learning as Fena in a business service providers. We have to keep learning. We have to keep learning. In my other businesses, I have an accountant. Yeah, I think they put me back in reality check. I think we should not do this. Financially, it doesn't make sense. One convention, like trying a team gati wali yali achikozeeko. Atenga twagala okuleta abakoze ku ka events awalana nenga bye bakoze ate sibye twagala okukola. So ngati wali alina experience kola feche tugenda kukola. So I thought, why bring someone on board agenda okucharginga extra money ngate necho yagala okukola naye takikolangako. That's why we did not have people on board. But now I have a team that is experienced. What's your talk? Belter. The Belter buy, but only buy one that has a 1.5 liter engine. Toguleka wansi wazo. Waliwo ne yasisi 10. So anyway, guys, mwebale kubeerawo, mwebale kumpagira, mwebale kumpa pre-purchase inspection. Abaja convention, I'm always glad that you came. I'm happy. Tell people about the channel. Continue to tell people about the channel. You know, actually, I'm going to give you the video, part A of the e-mobility expo. Yeah. Now, because it's already uploaded, I'm just going to approve it to go out there, and then you can watch. On my purchase, Sebo, you over-delivered. You didn't even promise. My gratitude. Amina, Zach. Amina, chairman. Amina. So, guys, kamba sibule sinda soma manya bale era basibula ambaje ku muyombi ya Mark Lawrence omule Richard Wanga motion by Benji Ricky Chikawa Muchunguzi Gerald Katamba Isaac Katende Gilbert Amanya Noah Norman Jones E from Panga Godfrey Steve Richard Akipol Sema VIP Nabasa Stewart Rama Charity Organization Direct Short Aishuka Blair, Starch Events, Karim, Victor Bolaise, Chris Fitness Burwa, Henry Modern Juice, Tokwata Mulimboba Toyitawo. Social media mechanics do overpromise. Ideally, you can't expect me to have low expectations, yet you overpromise. Chitufu Riki Chogambi. However, DK should always explain to people how it does work, possibly of extending the time due to probably weather, which cannot be controlled, and then after client understands it does work. Waliwo garage obe yali kisasi ngekwe moroka jovuga nga ibakole iyo. You know when the garage gives you a car to drive ngabo bakole iyo to papa kubobo inawo chovuga. I think abantu abakola body spraying chibali badde bakola gulayo moroko obwala isiraisiye n'obuteka wawo ngomuntu bwalete moroka yo jikanika mumu wako ne yevuga ngabo mukole moroka ne musobola okukola standard work ata omuseera n'okuseera. K Jovan, Zas David Klaje, DK should also do some inspections on the cars in the presence of the customer before modification. Some vehicles come with other mechanical faults which clients will not accept afterwards. Yeah, I've also had Oliatwale Moroko Jikola SC Nagamba Wata radio yange Martin Arthur Mbamaze Mulindwa Gonzaga, Derek Deron, Basima Gerald. Arthur, I'm coming back to Uganda in 3 months' time from now, but I don't have any other options for a car or anyone who can assist me. So any budget, 20 million. Paso sete inzo butasoboka. I'm trying to be honest. I know you really want. Okujjako ojagula paso sete nga ya ready. Waliwo moroka ezimu nga zitambira mbikale bitategereka ready. My number one Chairman Zach, and then one of 350,000. The one for 450 has a microcation and stuff. We'll play back video when I'm free. Amina Raiwa. I don't take it for granted, the guys that are watching this video later on in the day, in the week, in the month. I hope that this 1 hour is worth it. Mulete inspection, so maso. I think by the end of the week, guys, I'll be telling you how you guys can support our campaign. Stop, Look, Leave. We're going to be doing awareness campaigns, sensitization campaigns. We're going to start with schools, then to spreading it out in the general public. We see a lot of people, especially the young kids, what the road signs are. So we are going to call on your support. We need at least 10,000 from 30,000 people would do us very good. We want to reach 1 million people by the end of our period, which is by 30th August 2026. To reach about 1 million people bali literate about the road signs, how to use traffic lights, how to understand how the road works and stuff like that. I'm coming to inspect some cars. Amina Stewart, Rama Charity Organization, and back in Uganda again. I want to work with you, send you money for buying the car inspection, then you buy from me the car, I find it with you. That's okay. Arthur, what were the results of the full tank of Vivo? Just this one. This car gives you between 700 and 800 kilometers for full tank. Like right now, Arthur, the car has been on the SEs running. That gives me bad mileage. I don't say bad mileage, it gives me good mileage still, better than what I got from the Raktis. But it gives me between 700 to 800 kilometers on a full tank. What happened to the demonstration ground with traffic signs in Bugolowe next to MTN switch? I don't know. So this hybrid, I drive a Prius hybrid. Atebo baba wajagala, you can come and buy it. Kubanja jagala genda gula moroka ya masanyezi ya milioni nkaga. Jagala gula moroka ya masanyezi ya milioni nkaga. I'm going to go and do a review for you guys. Namu abagala gula moroka ya masanyezi musobolo jigula. But I'm going to go do, I'm still studying it though. Naye kati wendi sidda mafuta. Moroka ya mafuta yokaje njagala inakuba ya project. Nga weganywa nenga wali suspend guys kamba sibo Lawrence ya muko mawe bale kubeerawo. But guys, thank you very much for choosing to be with me. I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow in the Lifestyle Wednesday. Ciao.